Yo, what is going on? What is good, everyone? Hope you guys are having a good day. Today is, I don't know what day it is. Tuesday, May 23rd, 2023. All right. I have done absolutely nothing today. So there is that. But it's because yesterday was my friend's birthday, so we played a ton of soccer. I'm tired, like way tired, and I slept a lot. I woke up very late. I haven't journaled, I haven't read, I haven't had breakfast or lunch today. I haven't done anything today, so be mindful of that. All right. Indices today I think are a little bit sloppy. Okay, just like this fucking music, we gotta change it. That non-copyright music is really hit or miss, and it's usually miss. But what's good, Miguel, Nicholas, Max, Ali, Naruto, and Lamad? What up? What up? We didn't make it member only today, did we? No, we're on subscriber today. Okay, just making sure. But it's no surprise that we only have snipers here as of right now. So but anyways, not that I was gonna get into all that stuff today. What's good, Trillionaire? The British pound went down to the lows that we discussed yesterday. If you remember the 23.91 level I gave you yesterday that I told you to look at on like a 15 or a 1 hour, we had lows at 123.91. That was met during London and actually hit a reversal as well. We have some equal highs at 24.37, 38. So that, I mean, that could be upside potential, but if you weren't up at 8:45 central, that imbalance coming off of that low, then I don't know, I feel like it's really late. No, it's not that I'm sick. I slept a lot. I just, I haven't been up all that long. I've been up for like 2 hours. I'm super tired. So it was a good night. Especially for Monday, my God. I don't know why we didn't celebrate on Sunday, but it's cool. It's all gravy. We're doing all right. We also talked about SPY. I gave you guys that 15-minute equal lows yesterday at 417.35. That is where we opened up today. Okay, we opened up there today, and we are actually lower than that as of right now. Okay, so I think it's hard to say what we're gonna do the rest of the day, although I think the selling may continue. There's a chance I think we may come up and fill the gap, but I think if I had to say, I would suspect lower pricing for the indices. So we'll see. The Dow is our strongest index today. Okay, and actually that was the markup that I had over here just a minute ago. Okay, so we're in the afternoon session now. It's our strongest index, so if I were to short this, it would not be a full risk because it goes against the rule of shorting the strongest index. So it's not a rule that you 100% of the time don't short the leader. Like, you can Okay. But if I do that, I just know that the risk is reduced. Okay. I wouldn't go full risk on shorting the indices. If we are bearish, then, you know, it would be NASDAQ or S&P that would likely be the better one. But if you think about it, we are at an imbalance here. And I would be curious to see what we do here for the Dow. Now, the other indices, okay, I think if the Dow trades through this imbalance and even above the current high here, then we may see a upside for the afternoon. But if I had to say, I would favor downside more so than upside. So we did talk yesterday about, we talked a lot about logic, actually. We talked about opening price logic. We talked about the range logic as well, like the current range of the day. It could be the week. It could be the month. I mean, whatever range that you want. So we are above New York Stock Exchange open. The imbalance up here, potential mitigation as well, is also on the higher end of the current range. So, right, we have this low, we have this high. So we're in the, upper half of that, or the upper 1/3, or whatever, however you want to break it down. So to me, we could see a sell-off. And I'm not entirely sure. You do have, let me see. At least on a 1 minute, I mean, the Dow gaps a lot. But during that sell-off, there's that gap here as well. So you have a potential gap within an imbalance, which is also within a mitigation as well. Potential downside here and potential downside here. So if you guys are here, if you guys can hear me, let me know. Dropping a like on the video, on the current stream, I would greatly appreciate that. Every little bit counts to help grow the channel. We've been working on it. And yeah. So that's that. If you look at SPY, okay, you see the huge difference here with the S&P and the Dow, right? If we go back to Dow, we're well above opening price. We're near the current high of the day, to a degree at least. And you look at the S&P, I mean, it's below opening price. It's closer to the low than it is to the high. NASDAQ, same thing. It's, well below the open. It's more near the low than it is the high. So I feel like, again, when it comes to shorting, if you do short the strongest index, if it's me, then I want to try and keep the risk reduced, because if this ends up being our stronger index and we end up being bullish, then it'll probably push past the imbalance and then push past the highs, and then that's a wrap. But it's just not like, I don't have the full confidence to go full risk on a short here. Okay, because if I'm wrong on the bearish idea and we end up trading higher, then, well, I don't want to take a big ass loss, you know what I mean? Well, you never want to take a big loss. I mean, that's, you know, that's part of it. But the Dow, in a little bit of a broader term, it would seem like we're at a discount. So that's where sometimes, you know, things can get a little bit tricky if you don't do the top down analysis, if you don't look at all the available data to you. Because on a 1 hour, this almost looks like a buy on the 1 hour. But the daily does look pretty sloppy. Okay, this is the Dow Jones on a daily for the futures. This looks terrible. You know, this like doesn't look all that great. So just be mindful of that. You know, it's kind of been a rough couple of weeks overall. Not entirely rough. I mean, yesterday we outlined moves before they happen, 2 of them. So, you know, can you still find movements? Can you still, you know, see things? I mean, yeah. But it's just sometimes the market delivers more cleanliness, I guess. The setups are not as obvious right now as they used to be, you know, earlier in the year or a few weeks ago. As far as like politics and shit go, I mean, you know, the government's always going to have their bullshit. So debt ceiling, government shutdown. I mean, I don't even know. Wells Fargo though is doing all right. We'll come back to the Dow in a minute. The Wells Fargo's doing okay. Did okay yesterday, and it's actually up a little over 2% today. So we've been on a nice little run here for last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 weeks maybe. So yesterday we marked up this high from April 19th. So it looks like we're running there, and then, you know, as I've been explaining the last couple months, we still have these gaps up here. So like we have that one, then we have this one way up here too. So I mean that'll probably be a while, but you know, again, still upside potential, upside objectives, hopefully, for Wells Fargo. And then JP Morgan's not doing anything today. They're flat, so it's always great. But yeah, so we'll watch what we do here. But man, I'm probably gonna stretch a lot today, just so you know. Dude, I played so much soccer yesterday. I did so much running yesterday. Whew. Man, I was out of breath like all fucking day. Like all day. I kept saying like, man, I need a cigar. It was great though. It was great. I scored a couple times. I mean, it was against kids, so you know, I don't know if I can brag about that. I don't know if it's braggable. But I had some pretty good passes too, just so you know. Shit, I'm out of breath just thinking about what we did yesterday. Got some PTSD. We had some green enchiladas. Man, it was awesome. It was a great time. So we gotta be active. But yeah, I slept so good. I woke up this morning. Y'all ever not worked out for a long time, and then you work out, but like you just do too much. You overdo it, and you go to bed, and you wake up, and just everything is sore. Like everything is just sore, and you just want to go back to sleep. You don't want to get out of bed. You don't want to do anything. Like that's pretty much how I feel today. Because dude, I ran so much yesterday. I mean, I wouldn't say ran, but I mean, we're talking like a really, really intense jog. You know what I'm saying? So It's a great time though. It's a great time. Post-traumatic soccer disorder. I like that. Every time, man, when I prepare for it by doing very low weight, yeah, it was crazy. What the fuck is this bullshit? So I know there's a lot going on here, but this also is a 15-minute imbalance. So like I want to give the 15-minute a few candles to print as well, but at the same time, I want us to really sprint from that gap. I can't even fucking highlight it. Yeah, there it is. I want us to like really sprint away from that gap. You know what I'm saying? And let's just say if we go lower, I will be fucking ecstatic today. I will be fucking ecstatic. So let's see. I'm trading into a smaller imbalance right now. But y'all don't let me overmanage shit though. Don't let me overmanage it. It's just a small imbalance right there. But yeah, so and we're gonna take the afternoon. We're gonna take the afternoon line off, but we're gonna keep our afternoon open on here. And I didn't even check if there was news today. Is there any news today? Do you guys know? I didn't even look. I told you I haven't done anything today. I haven't done a lot. Too tired. I was like, man, I'm about to get a lot done. And then I looked at the time. I was like, oh shit, I got to stream. I got to stream. Don't have time to shower. Don't have time to do nothing. Oh, there was news this morning. Oh, there's a lot going on today, though. PMI all over the place. 2:15, 2:30, 3:30, 8:45, and then 9 o'clock. Oh, that's 9 p.m. That's cash rate this evening for New Zealand in a press conference about an hour after that. All right. So if you think about it, on a potential Dow short, right? What you're asking for is a continuation, probably for the other indices, right? And sometimes it's hard for me to go, okay, we consolidated, dropped, and then it's like you're essentially shorting this. You know what I mean? And I don't always like shorting that late on a 5-minute, 15-minute chart. Like it's a lot. You know what I mean? So I would need it to do something quick, not give it the old dilly dally. Let me just see the NASDAQ. So, and it makes it hard to justify for the NASDAQ as well, because look, the NASDAQ traded below Monday's low, and that alert never triggered because I didn't extend it long enough, but that triggered last night in the evening time. But anyway, NASDAQ is coming off of an old low, right? And one of the rules is that we don't short below old lows. So even though we're not below the low, I'm telling you that it's still like, it's coming off of that low. So that, you know, can still be, if we've already taken liquidity and you want to short, you're expecting essentially a deeper run below the low, and that, you know, may not be the greatest. Okay. So could we get a continuation? We could, but it's just demanding a lot. And when you demand a lot, it just may not be. You know what I mean? It may not be all that great. So there's that. No more today. We had PMI. What do you do when, for example, Dow is weak, but NASDAQ has equal lows? Well, I think it's situational, but I would trust the equal lows more than I would the weakness, because if you, like, let's say you identify weakness on a intraday basis, it's like, all right, it could be weak for now, but you may be missing something on a higher time frame, and it may be weak in the morning, but it may be stronger in the afternoon or whatever, and that's fine. But I would trust the run on liquidity on the equal lows more so than I would, you know, like strength or weakness type deal. So that's what I would trust. Ooh, that candle there was vicious. Because remember, I want to see it like run away from that gap right there. And blue line again is only our afternoon session open. So if I have not labeled that correctly, I don't want to throw you off. Top right. Oh man, the fucking markets are so hard. The markets are so hard, I wanted to run from that gap if I can run from the gap. Not to be egotistical, okay? Not to be egotistical. But how do we say we want it to run and it runs? I don't get it, man. That is fucking sexy. Oh my God, that 1 minute. Oh my God, I gotta push the fucking TP. Now we're below that low. Look at that shit. Look at that fucking run. Look at it. Look at it. Too clean. Beautiful low right there. That would be a partial. That would be a partial. Did we get our continuation? Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. The NASDAQ's not really. The NASDAQ's like, fuck you, John. But that Dow, big ass candle. Look at that Dow. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, give me that opening price. Give me that opening price. Give it to me. Let's fucking go. Let's go, ladies and gents. Let's go. Smart money stoic. Smart money stoic, guys. If you watch that shit, drop a like on the video. You know we're gonna fucking clip today's shit. You know we are clipping that. You know we gotta clip that. Woo. Look at that 1 minute right there. Look at that gap. Before the fact, ladies and gentlemen. Before the fact. I don't want to hear no shit. Don't want to hear no shit today. That is, it almost does not get better than that. It almost does not get better than that, ladies and gentlemen. You came here for the fucking business and you fucking got it. Let's see if we can get a new low. I didn't push my TP far enough. Fuck. It's all good though. Because it was reduced risk anyway, so it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal, but if I had to say, this low should not be there. Or it shouldn't remain there. It shouldn't remain open. We should fucking dominate that low. We should dominate that low. So guess what? Guess what? You saw the mitigation model at play. You just witnessed the mitigation model in real fucking time. In real time, using the logic that I taught you yesterday. Afternoon session open. Where are we? Above it. Opening price. Where are we? Above it. I said, here's an imbalance. There's a gap within that. And I pointed out this potential mitigation, right? So for those of you that know the mitigation model, there it is. There it is. What else do you want, ladies and gents? What else do you want? Live analysis right here. Matter of fact, we got to change it. It's not even live analysis anymore. It's before the fact analysis. That's what the fuck it is. Look at that. That is beautiful. You know what? I'm going back to bed, y'all. I'm going to take a shower and go the fuck back to bed. I hope y'all watch this shit. Because it wasn't just the setup. It was, I want to see it sprint away. And it did exactly that. Learn the skill set, ladies and gentlemen. Learn the fucking skill set. If I can do it, you can do it too. The logic you learned yesterday, if you're brand new to the logic, I've been teaching this logic for years. The book was fucking produced 2 years ago. So for all of you that have my book, you know the logic. For those that know the mitigation model I taught a few weeks ago, you know the mitigation model. You put the two together and you get shit like this. You get super sprint in your direction. You don't see these fuckers with 700 people, 800 people live doing this shit. Not that I wanted to talk no shit today, but I'm just saying. Today's a good fucking day. And I got to screenshot the chat because now we got to do a little bit of promotion here. We got to do a little bit of promotion a little bit later. But you guys are blowing up the chat. I appreciate you. But look at that. You know, now that I'm thinking of it, maybe the S&P was better. Maybe I played myself on that. And yeah, we did actually extend lower for the NASDAQ. But hey, like I told you, I wouldn't want to demand that. I'm usually not. I know my areas that I'm pretty good at, and I know that I'm not good here. Like liquidity and then a further like run, I'm not good at that. Okay, I'm not good at that. But the mitigation model using the right logic, oh, you fucking witnessed it. So I'm happy. Today's a good fucking day, man. You know what? Now I can enjoy the rest of my day without having to worry about shit. Without having to worry at all. Because now I'm done. And it's only been 35 minutes into the stream. We could clip this shit here. We could clip it here and be done. And thank you. I appreciate the comments, but I'm not the best. But I appreciate you. Thank you for showing gratitude. Because this is a real skill set to have. And I try to portray that to you. I try to give you shit. I try to hand you some shit on a silver platter. You know? And yet these people still want to fucking cancel my Zoom calls. They don't want me to teach you shit. You know, they want to fucking blackball John Phibb. Well, not here, bitch. Not here on YouTube. Fuck that. This shit is open for everybody. And I will show you the way when other people will not. How about that? Fuck them, respectfully. Banger setups. Even in a condition that is not all that great. Go look at Twitter. Go look at Twitter. You see everybody, oh man, these market conditions, they're not all that great. Oh, really? They're not all that great. But yet, we have this. So what do you mean? All right, but to an extent, the conditions are not that great. Even I did kind of say that. I'll agree there. But to write off the entire day or the entire week, why? That's just kind of silly goosery right there. You don't want to be a silly goose. You don't want to do that. All right. So I'm already out of it, okay? Just so you know. But if I had held a piece on, because I still think we're going to get a new low. I think that's possible. I could be totally fucking wrong. I think it's possible. But if it was me, I would not want to see us trade either to this imbalance or definitely not at the higher end, because the higher end you're going to go, the fucking closer it's going to get to your like break even up here. But if you can give it some room to breathe, you have that lack of wick right here, which I think is also seen on a 5 minute. And that's interesting that it overlaps with opening price. I don't think that's a coincidence, but I don't see it coming all the way back up to this gap without taking out that low first. So if I was still in this, I would feel pretty confident. But if we just start jamming up, that may not be okay. But this right here is definitely a go break even for me. So not trade advice, not financial advice, none of that. You guys already know the drill. But if we're gonna practice like we play, if we're gonna treat this like I was still in this, then yeah, okay. I would want this low, but I would have already partialed out. If I didn't, I would definitely partial out here, because it's still below an old low, or a recent low rather. And then I would definitely take the stop and bump it at least 10, 15 points below the entry just to knock off risk. And then guess what? Once you knock risk off, your psychology is blessed. Now whatever happens, happens. If it comes all the way back up to your entry and you get stopped out break even, okay, great. You didn't lose money. If it continues lower and it does make a new low and it gets you out, congrats. It gets you out. But if you partial out along the way, it's a W either way. And that's always a good day. That is always a good day. But yeah, that is a wrap. That is a wrap for today. Keep 4164 on your charts. We did talk about that the other day for the S&P. 41, I think it was, now I'm second guessing myself. I think it was 4164. But let me double check. Shit, I'm awake now. Fucking energy drink. I'm awake now. Yeah. So I still think it's a stretch, but mathematically it's only another 10 points lower. Keep 4164 on your chart for the S&P. Again, it's a stretch, but if we just dump and we continue, 4164 is going to be potentially on the table for today. All right. We're done with the indices for today. I'm not looking at it no more. We have one of them had equal highs here. It is silver. All right, not really. 23.92. 23.92 for silver. Again, potential upside. And the gold market, I'm just not even sure, to be honest. I really don't even know. We had all these markups from yesterday, all that back and forth manipulation and all that. Today, I don't know. Yeah, we can look at euro and British pound. Just give me a minute. Just give me a minute and I'll get to it. So I don't know if you heard earlier, but I did mention the 123.92 level. I gave you that yesterday because that was these lows here. I told you to, I don't know if I pulled up the chart, but I definitely told you to look at it because we talked about euro. Okay. And British pound though dragged euro down with it. So crabs in a barrel mentality over here. But yeah, I ended up sweeping that, right? So it swept it and then it ran imbalance there. Boom. Now we're up. It comes close to these highs. Hasn't taken it yet, but I think it may continue up to that. That 5 minute looks like shit. The 15 minute looks like shit as well. Just in terms of respecting the imbalance, because here's an imbalance right here below an old low. So like that's not a bad long, but then it closes below the imbalance and then now it trades back above it again. So like to me, I look at that and I don't, you know, but if anything, I guess you could say it ran into this up candle here, but you see how they don't overlap? You see how, to me, there's no overlap between this up candle here and this imbalance here. So when they don't overlap like that, it's hard for me to know which one is gonna hold. You know, like, is it gonna hit the imbalance and go, or is it gonna hit the mitigation and go? It's like, well, fuck, I don't know. I have no idea. So what I would have preferred is what we saw in Dow, but the inverse here, where we have a mitigation and then a potential imbalance within that. But you really don't see that. You really don't see that. But as far as a mitigation play goes, that is what it's trading off of. But for those of you that do know the mitigation model that I put out a few weeks ago, you know that I usually would not take a mitigation by itself. But yeah, so if you want to, if you're not in, or if you haven't been watching anything today or done anything, we could put an alert up there as well. Okay, just clean, equal highs. We've already gotten close, so it's shown a willingness, but the retracement to get traders out because, you know, people panic when the market goes against you. And I understand that. But when you can get these really precise entries like that and the market goes your direction really quickly, you know, going break even fast. Not everybody agrees with that, but you know, if you're looking to reduce risk, you know, that's what I do. So, you know, it's showing a willingness, all of 12, 13 pips. I mean, nothing crazy, but to me, that's probably enough to go break even if I was in on this. Would you usually enter on the first potential entry that overlaps? So what I'm going to do tonight is a market review. Okay. I'm going to do a market review tonight at 6 o'clock my time. So that's going to be 5 hours and 15 minutes from now. And I will go over exactly the question that you just asked, because there are many ways to enter a trade. Okay. And I will go in depth on Dow. I briefly showed you the 1 minute, but we really managed that trade on, well, we looked at that whole thing on the 15 minute, the 5 minute, and the 1 minute. So when you have different time frames, you have different data, and that different data allows you to enter differently. So you could never trade. Oh, let's just say you despise the 1 minute, like some of the Twitter traders, right? They say, oh, fuck the 1 minute. Okay. That's not me. Okay. So you want to be precise. Sometimes you got to go down to the smaller time frames. I mean, you see people post their entries, and you see sometimes when I post mine, and you can see like who's really fucking precise and who did like okay. You know what I mean? And again, I'm not trying to start no shit. I'm not trying to act like I'm the best, because I'm not. It's just, why do you think I tell you these things? Why do you think I bring you down to the 1 minute? Because you might just play the 5 minute and never look at a 1 minute time frame. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, if you wait for, let's say, a 5 minute reaction, but you enter off of a 1 minute time frame, that's okay too. You could even get a slightly better entry that way. And again, I'm going to go in depth more later on tonight, but let's just say you said, you know, oh, fuck it, I'll just take the mitigation. Okay, that's great. You took a little bit of drawdown, market rallies, and then, you know, let's just say you wait for here, there's a break of structure, and then you play that imbalance here. So instead of being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, let's say 6 or 7 minutes in drawdown, here you only spent 3 minutes in drawdown. You know what I mean? So your entry may not have been better, but you spent less time in drawdown. And so sometimes I do prefer that. Sometimes I don't like taking drawdown, bro. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes it's all right. Or I sometimes I can maybe expect it. Like, yeah, I'll give you a quick example and then we'll hop off of here. Because I'm done for today. I'm not doing anything else. And I'm not going to sit here for another 2 hours. I mean, I love you guys, but like, I'm behind on a lot of shit I got to do today. We've already seen some pretty clean movement. You already know what to expect for British pound. And, you know, in all fairness, this is a free stream. So I don't want to be an asshole, but we're going to cut it short here in just a minute. But I will leave you with this. Let's say the market is trading up into an imbalance. Okay. However big that is, or let's make it a little bit bigger. Okay. Let's say this is a 5 minute imbalance. Okay. All right. Let's say this is a 5 minute imbalance. Okay. Now the classic entry would just be at the beginning. Means as the market's trading up, you would just short like right into the imbalance. Okay. Now, if I did that, I would expect some drawdown if there was an, let's say a smaller imbalance or even a gap, let's say at the halfway point. So there's different things you could do. You could go, all right, well, I'll try to get that gap like we did on now. Or you could say, well, shit, I don't know, man. You know, it might not trade up there because this gap or imbalance, it may be on the higher end. And so you might think, well, I don't know, man. What if it just hits the initial imbalance and then runs away? I've seen that before too. So, or, and again, this is when I expect drawdown is the point I'm trying to make, is I'll do that sometimes. I'll go, cool, I'll take the 5 minute, but I will allow it to come to the gap and then go. So I might take some heat up here because I don't always know if it's going to hit that higher end gap or not. So from this particular point, all of this would be a little bit of drawdown and then it would start going my way. So like, that's okay, but you got to expect it. So if I'm taking an entry here for a short, would my stop be just slightly above that gap? No, it would have to go above the imbalance to the, you know, to a point of where I would be wrong in the analysis. Okay. But yeah, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for your time. I'll give you a small update just to see what we're doing. Because I don't know what we're doing here. Ooh, it did come back to that imbalance. Came all the way back up there. So if it were me, you know, if we entered at the gap, okay, my stop would probably be at the higher end of this, right? And so you see how we ran into here, but we've reacted a little bit. I would say, okay, great. It looks like a continuation. If I'm wrong, that's fine. But now the market, when it came back to get people out who were short, if it does continue, then cool. But I want to be able to lock in a little bit more. So again, this is only if it were me. Okay, this is not financial advice, but if it was me, I'd go ahead and take it and put it at that high. So instead of locking in a little bit, I don't know what that is, like 15 points, I'd probably lock in 30 or 40. I don't know how many that is. You know what I'm saying? So I'm able to just lock in a little bit more, because there you can always make the case of, well, it's gonna do this. And it's like, okay, well, great. If it does that, I don't want to break even. I at least want to be able to lock something in. You know, think about it like football. American football, at least. You know, if you run 20 yards up the field, you're not going to run back 20 yards. You don't want to give up what you just gained. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's almost the same concept. I could be totally wrong on a new low. I could be totally wrong. But the market has given us an opportunity. So if you don't take, or at least lock something in, that's silly. You know what I mean? Oh shit, the NASDAQ barely even rallied. The S&P rallied a little bit. That Dow took a much deeper retracement. So, hey, you do what you want with that information. None of it is advice at all. But that is what I will leave you with. So tonight, 5 hours from now, we will go over into more details. We'll go into intricate ideas about today's Dow, about probably the NASDAQ, S&P, and then we'll study some British pound and probably take a look at the dollar index as well and see what sets up. But yeah, keep an eye on everything that we talked about. There's still 2 hours left in a day for indices. So we have an alert for S&P at 4164. And the very last thing I'll give you, I guess, is we'll just take everything off at this point. The last thing is an alert for a new low at 33,181. Okay. So it's either going to come back to the gap and that's it. It may trade down to make a new low, or it'll consolidate. I don't know. But if I had to say, I would want a new low. And if not, I'm wrong. And I'll be wrong publicly. That's okay. I'm not afraid of that shit. So, and no, as of right now, I'm not an anonymous ghost. Interesting name there. But yeah, y'all be blessed. I will see you guys tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern. Don't get your face ripped off. Stay blessed. Make sure you read something today. Okay, don't be a goober. I'll see y'all later.